Today, Dr. Karl joins us, and we're talking about holiday traditions, including Christmas pageant. Dr. Wynn, as it turns out, I happen to celebrate Hanukkah, and today I brought my menorah with me. We'll talk more about Hanukkah in a little bit, but first, let's talk about these Christmas plays that are coming up.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm excited about it. All the local theaters are ramping up for the holiday season, and I wanted to mention several of them, but one of them is Ozark Christian College is doing the best Christmas pageant ever, the musical, which is a really cute and hilarious story. Can you tell us what this one's about?
Yeah, of course. So the best Christmas pageant ever is a beloved tale about 6 of the worst kids in the history of the world. Great start right there.
Right.
Always in trouble, they show up at Sunday school just to steal the snacks and end up taking over the entire Christmas pageant. The bully, the church kids rewrite the Christmas story and set the church on fire, but in the end, it's those who thought they knew Christmas best who learned the most.
Right, so these kids are super ornery. You weren't an ornery kid, were you?
I like to think I wasn't. That's a question for my parents.
I know. We all did something, you know. But so these really ornery kids come in and take over the whole Christmas play, and they don't know the story at all, which is kind of awesome. And they really get upset when they hear about their part of the story where Herod is killing little children, and they're like, we're going to kill Herod, and show us the guy in the play that's Herod, and they're actually going to beat him up, and there is no Herod, but it's, you know, it's just, oh my gosh, and they're just taking over. So the whole thing turns into how to see something from a different perspective, because these kids that had never heard that story are seeing it from a totally fresh perspective, and they open up everybody else's eyes to see it from a fresh perspective too. That's kind of cool. So I wanted to talk about how to see things from somebody else's perspective. Our perspective changes everything. Take a look at that picture, and it's supposed to be 2 different things. What do you see?
I've seen this one before. Sure. I mean, you definitely see the grandma, the old lady,
right?
But I first see the woman, the side profile.
Yeah, you have to look a second time, some of the time, to see the other thing. But if you look a little harder, it's cool. You can see it from a different perspective. How about this one? Do you see 2 things?
I see a. First, I saw like a skull,
yeah.
And then you can see a lady right there looking in the mirror too.
Yeah, so you've got the, you know, from a distance you see the skull. You have to look a little closer to see there's a lady looking in a mirror and all the bottles of perfume and stuff like that. Yeah, so if you look closer, if you slow down, you can change your perspective. Here's my 3 points on how to see something from somebody else's perspective. Number 1 is just slow that down. Slow down your judgment and conclusion. It's not wrong to come to a good, solid judgment and conclusion, but you slow it down just a little bit. Number 2, refuse to stereotype people, put people in boxes. And number 3 is ask people questions and really listen to their answers. And all of a sudden, you can see a whole different perspective. So December 2 through 5, that's just 2 days away. Ozark Christian College, best Christmas pageant ever. If you want tickets, occ.edu/Christmas. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It looks good. I might have to take a look at it myself.
Well, to show us a different perspective, tell us some about Hanukkah.
Yeah, so tonight is the 3rd night of Hanukkah. I'll try to explain it the best I can. So, but rabbis back at University of Kansas, Rabbi Zalman, Rabbi Neal, I apologize if I don't do the best. But yeah, so tonight's the 3rd night, and really, long story short, the backstory is, you know, the Maccabees, when they were rushing back to the temple, they really only had what they thought would be enough oil, like really to last them through the night. But with a Hanukkah miracle, if you will, they ended up having enough to last 8 days. Wow. So that's what we celebrate. It's really more so an Americanized holiday. I know back in Israel, they don't really celebrate it as much as they do in America, in the sense of kids getting presents and whatnot. But yeah, you know, we play dreidel games, a lot of chocolate gelt. Kids here, you know, we get 1 present a night. And what I would always do growing up with my sisters, when we would light the candles and, you know, do the prayer, we would try to guess which candle would go out first. I will say last night with my girlfriend and my good friend Sam Goldman, who we were both FaceTiming, we lit the candles, and I did happen to win last night. So we'll see if you guys can beat me tonight. But no, that's pretty much the gist of Hanukkah in a nutshell right there.
That is awesome. And 8 nights.
8 nights.
8 gifts. That's like
as Adam Sandler says, 8 crazy nights.
Right. That is so cool. That is so cool. The Hanukkah song.
Yes,
that's hilarious.
The best
too.
part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Dr. Karl, thank you so much for joining us. It is a pleasure as always. And for now, we will turn back to 4 states weather with Alexis Clemens. Alexis, how's it looking for the 4 states commute today?
Yeah, it's fairly calm. We're also going to be fairly warm today for this morning and through the rest of the day, the last day of November. But we're going to get even warmer before we cool back down again this weekend. I'll have your full forecast right after the break. But first, here's a look at yesterday's weather almanac.